Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode. This week on Thursday Night Football, we have the Los Angeles Chargers versus the Minnesota Vikings, both of which lost last week, both of which have questions on both sides of the ball, both of which up in the air is probably the best way to put it. For this matchup, I am picking the Minnesota Vikings. Hold on. The point spread is just too big because between the Chargers and the Minnesota Vikings, both offenses have potential for going off, scoring a lot of points, a lot of yards. It also doesn't help that both defenses are not performing well. And yes, I am saying with an injured Carson Wentz, that with all that too. So again, 3.5 points for the Chargers. I'm not taking that. I am taking the Minnesota Vikings. Two, yeah, I'll say the Minnesota Vikings win this game. I think they have more outside threats, obviously with Justin Jefferson and Addison. I think Mario Addison is his name. The Chargers have the good offense, but I don't see anyone outside. Keenan Allen's a good wide receiver, but he's not like a burner. He's a playmaking wide receiver. He's a good wide receiver. But who's going to be the opposite of him making plays? As well as so the coverage doesn't go directly on him and it forces everyone else to do everything more and Justin Herbert has to do more. And he already has to do more since Najee Harris, I believe, was out for the season. Omarion Hampton's recovering from an injury. And with the potential of Minnesota Vikings offense, with the fact your defense has been inconsistent sometimes, and with the fact that the defense of your defense, the Chargers defense, will be stretched because Mario Addison, Justin Jefferson, TJ Hawkinson in the middle areas, and then Aaron Jones and other running backs being able to get into plays. And I would like to point this out. Carson Wentz is not. He's a good quarterback, strong arm quarterback who can throw down the field. I would like to point out what he did against last week against the Eagles, his former team, by the way. Even though he lost, he was able to. I think the Eagles did a good job of containing Justin Jefferson and the other ones. 19 points, I think, for 3 quarters, and then the last bit of points at the end. I believe that is how it went. Or should I say, I know how that. No, for the. I can't remember exactly when they scored the next couple of points, but for a long time, it was just 19 points with a Justin Jefferson offense with Mario Addison, TJ Hawkinson, Aaron Jones, other running backs. TJ Hawkinson is a tight end. So there should be no sleep. If I'm either defensive coordinator, I'm finding ways to make sure they don't get in the end zone. That is the only thing I probably should guarantee. Not even guarantee it, to be honest, but one thing I could strategize more. Because both off it, more so the Vikings, so that's why I'm leaning towards there because they can stretch. They have two really good wide receivers, obviously Justin Jefferson being the 1A, and then Addison being the number 2. But that allows you to stretch in ways that opens up Hawkinson, opens up the running game. But Justin Herbert's a pretty good quarterback too, and Keelan's a good wide receiver. They have pieces to work with, and Minnesota Vikings defense has need consistency, more consistent. So I am picking the Minnesota Vikings to win. So I'm ignoring that spread. Don't spread. I think it's gonna be a high, close game, as in a lot of points, but very close. However, I am picking the under because I think most of the points will be scored by Minnesota early and good enough, but I don't think it will be above the 44 that it was because it'll be mostly Minnesota. Then they'll try to run the ball to clock out, and then that'll be it. Picking Minnesota with the under. See you next week. Oh, wait. See you on Saturday.